Hello, this is John Oliver. Today I want to share with you a brief overview of a small business that I'm starting called John Oliver Enterprises. It is to become the way to start a ministry called Our Stewardship Community. I'll transition from a small business to the nonprofit during the coming months after I enroll the board records and get the money and the legal and the financial and all the other stuff in order. This purpose of this business is just to create the prototypes so that that can happen. What I'm going to go over here, let me read these slides and then comment briefly upon a few of them, but mostly just going to read the slides. This is based on answers to questions in the business planning templates of Bizgym website. Like I said, this is made on the 7th. Other videos will follow, and all videos are subject to revisions. As a disclaimer, this is a rough draft. Improvements will be made. Your prayers and comments are genuinely will help to make this better. Other slideshows will present other facets of the small business plan. This is just a skimming over the highlights, and they'll be obvious as we go along. There will be diagrams and mind maps to show how these parts fit together. Just saying it and showing it in this way, you can't really tell what you can't tell. It'll take some graphics, and those will come in the coming days and weeks. Bizgym blends the mission statement, the vision statement into one long sentence, and each of those bullet points has different ways of drawing them out. So I'm just going to read this long, complicated sentence, which is what they call the mission and vision statement. John Oliver Enterprises helps online members, wiki users, quarterly CD subscribers, and library patrons to get information, inspiration, and practical instruction through useful knowledge, time-tested skills, and community support, featuring lessons using illustrations, brief text, audio, and video. That's a whole lot, but that's kind of the DNA or the skeleton of the whole thing. It all kind of comes back to there. Of course, a lot of people want the bumper sticker, one phrase. Yeah, well, what's it really? Well, this is called a tagline or motto: reinventing niche libraries for this digital age. Little aside here, I'm a really strong fan of libraries. I really love them. I'm 58 years old. My mom was an elementary school teacher. She took me and my younger brother to libraries frequently when we were very young, and I fell in love with libraries, but both being there and materials taken home from there. And then in my, when was it? In my late 20s, I kind of got reintroduced to them, and ever since then I've been frequently in public or collegiate libraries. A library is just organized knowledge for free for me. A great place to study, to think, to pray, to reflect, to just have peace and get away from the chaos. And what's the online component, offline? How do you bring them together? We'll get into that again. The diagrams will illustrate that clearly. What is the problem that your business solves? Changing technology means continual learning is needed, plus billions are left behind. Our stewardship community will both serve those that are young and active and professional, and as well as those that are, we'll say later, in the bottom billions, the subsistence farmers and the rural pastors, and those have been left behind with all this technology. I mean, when I was going home at Thanksgiving, I was on a dark light rail to go to have Thanksgiving at a friend's house. The place was jammed with people coming back from the turkey trot, and they all had little iPhones that they couldn't have had 10 years earlier. And their whole life revolves around that device. Well, that's 1 billion people. Well, not true. There's 2-3 billion that have those, but the bottom 2 billion are getting by $2 a day. They could never afford that. And there's ways we could reach out and serve them, and we will be doing that together, which again, we'll show that later. That's why the billions been left behind. We're going to cross the digital divide and help those folks, as well as helping those people that are to keep up. because a library is a library. That make a difference. And a library is not just a place you have books, but how do you do digital library? We'll deal with that too. And quarterly CDs is part of it. We'll get into that later. I'm rambling a lot. I apologize. I want to make it I want to do more than just read the slides, but I'm going to do that too. What's your big idea or unique selling proposition? Useful knowledge, time-tested skills, and community support. Basically, knowledge, skills, and support. Because people need to learn to keep up and to get ahead. And there's learning that happens every stage of life. We'll get into that too later. So in other words, going from being a child to a youth to a young adult to being a spouse, to being a parent, to being a grandparent, to being employed, to being retired. All those there's a whole jumble bunch of things to learn. And you can't go back and take college courses every 3, 4, 5 years. So we need to bring education to people to fit their budget, fit their schedule, through podcasts and other kinds of ways. We'll get into that later. The customers are the online community members, quarterly CD subscribers, library patrons. I apologize that my enunciation isn't really clear. It's because I'm in the process of getting dentures. All my top teeth have been extracted, so I'm not used to talking like this. And in a couple of months, I'll get top teeth and my enunciation will improve. Isn't that a good idea? So I apologize if I sound kind of funky. What do the customers get? They get information, inspiration, and instruction. What are your main business goals? To create and publish prototypes for launching our subscription community during 2012. Like I said, you need to get the board of directors, the paperwork, the funding, the infrastructure, and transition from the business to that. That's been my dream for 30 years. I mean, there's nothing else I could do but that, really. We're a large launch team of intercessors, advisors, and donors. Weave together plans and actions for paving the way to relocating Constance, Texas. Those are the goals. That's what I want to do. How do you define your market? Lifelong learning offered by, again, the Wiki, online encyclopedia, subscribers, growing and sewing community-centered libraries. We're not going to have the libraries, I hope not at first. We want others to have them and help them to grow them and be entrepreneurial and innovative and creative, and we'll get into that later. What's your best growth opportunities? Or what's your secret sauce, or what's going to make this thing happen? I really believe the college students are going to want to contribute to projects that are transforming lives worldwide. They'll want to volunteer, they'll want to help, they'll want to serve, they'll see how this is going to help lots of people in lots of ways, including themselves and their friends and their family. I mean, lots of people. There's just hardly anybody that can't be served. How big is the market? Well, now again, that a different sideshow, but there are millions of rural pastors and elders, hundreds of millions of subsistence farmers and orphans. That's the reach, the missionness of it. We go take a quick aside here. They'll get into later, different slideshow. You know that shoe company called Tom's, where you buy a pair of shoes and they give a pair of shoes. They've also given us eyeglasses. You buy a pair of their fancy sunglasses and they give away a pair of glasses overseas. Other companies do the same thing. One has like really fancy purses and totes and purses and you buy those and they feed people or give them school supplies. So you buy, it's a one for one. You buy here, it gives there. I'm going to adapt that kind of model. People are going to be reach are these pastors, orphans, farmers. But I don't want to just be give. I want to sell so that we can give. Sell here to give there. Sell here and give there. So you sell to homeschool, to private schools here, to give to orphanages there. Does that make sense? We'll get into more of that later. I'll make money from donations, from membership fees, retail sales, subscriptions, affiliate commissions, and ads. I'll do a whole presentation about what I mean by each of those factors. What is the promotions strategy? Again, these are the questions that the template asks. Face-to-face presentations to key individuals and small groups. I will go and meet with people in their houses and their offices and ask them to donate. Special donations one time, monthlies, small groups of social classes or other groups. And social marketing will be optimized. We'll be very active in I've recently become very active in Twitter. I've been pretty active in Facebook for a long time. Just learned how to use Twitter. We'll do that, LinkedIn, all the other big players in a synergistic way. Not just me, but all of us will. That's a part of the strategy. I mean, we're going to reach the digital, the younger generation. They're there right now in a very lively, authentic, genuine, transparent, caring, wonderful, fun way. How do you open and close deals? Again, this is a business model, business site. But if I present the biblical mandates, what the Bible says about evangelism, discipleship, benevolence, request prayers, and match volunteers to that, what I want to know what their strengths are. I'm going to give service inventories, strengths, kinds of things, personality tests, and say, given that we have these tasks, I want you to enjoy what you're doing. I've got tons of work, but I want you to feel good about what you do. And so you'll keep doing it, do it well, and come back and tell others, and match them the tasks that they want to. And so I think that'll clinch it. What have you accomplished today? I've already published many websites, online videos and blogs, jsohub.org. Go there, and from there I have links to a lot of my stuff. I've shared hundreds of valuable links, really thousands, but we just call it hundreds for now. What stage I'm at the startup stage. Soon be opening a membership site, presenting beta version of an online interactive encyclopedia called a wiki, and publishing the prototype of the quarterly CD. Describe your funding requests. Only $4,000 is needed to get the ball rolling and prepare the prototypes. Conclusion, share your comments and questions. Please give feedback. Do what you like, what you don't like, what you suggest, what questions come to your mind, what have I not been clear about. Get ready to donate generously when the door opens soon for fundraising. And I mean that. I want you to give. That's 5, 10, 20, 50, 500, 5,000. Give. Be a part of it. Really, really, really. And pray for God to guide and provide. Guide me, provide through other people to get this thing up and going nicely. Thank you very much.